When I was 18, I considered myself great, and I pronounced proudly. When I was 25, I began to say, I and Mozart. At the age of 40, Mozart and I. Now I say, Mozart. These words belong to Giuseppe Verdi, the composer who became Italy's national pride thanks to his operas. Giuseppe Fortunino Francesco Verdi was born in the village of Le Roncole in the province of Parma on the 10th of October, 1813. At the age of 10, the clever child began playing the organ at the local church. Soon Ferdinando Provesi, a talented organist and the conductor of the Philharmonic Orchestra from the neighboring town of Busseto, noticed the boy. Provesi gave Verdi the foundations of musical composition and conducting techniques and helped him improve his playing the organ. The local merchant, Antonio Baresi, took Giuseppe to his house and agreed to pay for his further studies. But 19-year-old Verdi was not admitted to the conservatory in Milan. He returned to Busseto, and in 1836, Verdi married Margherita Baresi, his patron's daughter. Soon she gave birth to a daughter and a son. Verdi took lessons on composition from the famous musician Vincenzo Lavigna, who helped Giuseppe free entry to performances at La Scala and concerts and rehearsals of the Philharmonic Society. Once, a conductor was absent for a rehearsal of Haydn's oratorio, The Creation. They asked Verdi, sitting in the hall, for help. Later, the composer recalled, "I remember very well the ironical jibes the musicians met me with. My young face, my slim figure, and my poor clothes. All this didn't command the respect. But after the rehearsal, I heard compliments from everywhere I was given for conducting the oratorio." In addition to it, Verdi was commissioned his first opera. Oberto was successfully performed at La Scala for the first time in 1838. However, misfortunes soon befell the composer. Verdi lost his daughter, son, and beloved wife, one after another. And among these terrible torments, Giuseppe recalled, I had to finish a comic opera. It is not surprising that his King for a Day was catcalled by the audience. The stunned Verdi did not want to create music anymore, but the director of La Scala gave the depressed composer the libretto of the opera Nabucco. It was the story of the king Nebuchadnezzar. Verdi was inspired by the text for the chorus of captive Hebrews and overcame himself. The successful premiere of the opera restored the good name of the composer. When the whole Italy fought against the Austrian oppression, this chorus from Nabucco became the second national anthem. In his own words, the composer worked like a convict for the following 8 years. He wrote 12 operas. One of them, The Lombards, consolidated Verdi's reputation as an Italian patriot. Another, Ernani, made him famous outside Italy. Besides, the composer was in the thick of revolutionary things in Milan and Rome in 1848, when the Italian Republic was proclaimed. In 1851, he settled down at the Sant'Agata estate with the singer Giuseppina Strepponi. He courted her for 10 years before she agreed to marry him. Her idea to live in the country and to create remaining close to nature was absolutely acceptable for the composer. Between 1851 and 1853, Verdi created 3 masterpieces: Rigoletto, based on the King Amasis himself, a drama by Victor Hugo, The Troubadour, based on a romantic Spanish melodrama, and La Traviata, the plot of which was taken from The Lady of the Camellias, a play by Dumas Fields. The composer wrote the opera Aida, one of his masterpieces. Getting a commission from the government of Egypt, he collaborated with the author of the libretto, Antonio Ghislanzoni. The premiere of the opera took place during the opening of the Suez Canal in 1874. Verdi's work with the librettist Arrigo Boito was very fruitful as well. In 1887, the opera Othello was staged. Then 80-year-old Verdi overcame his old prejudice against creating a musical comedy and wrote the opera Falstaff, based on Shakespeare's play Merry Wives of Windsor. In 1889, Verdi became a senator and bought a plot to build a house for aged musicians. Later, he called it his best work. While celebrating his 85th birthday, Verdi admitted sadly, "My name smells the epic of mummies. I myself waste away when I mutter this name." Giuseppe Verdi died in 1901. National mourning was announced in Italy. During the funeral of the composer, the chorus from his opera, Nabucco, was performed. This composition was the first to sound when the concerts at La Scala in Milan were resumed after the Second World War. And since 1961, the vocal contest Verdi's Voices has been held in Busseto.